Hi, good day to everyone. Since we have 3 days of cancellations of classes, so the school required us to do this to make you or make us or make you rather na hindi kayo mahuli with our topics. So, we're going to create a video lessons for us na masustain pa rin na kayo ay update through even though you are still not inside with the classroom. Kahit na medyo malayo kayo. I hope bubuksan ninyo at panonoorin nyo po. So, again, for Earth and Life Science, we are in Module 7. So, under second quarter. So, mainly, our topic for this lesson is all about go forth and multiply perpetuation of life. So, meaning, pag sinabi pong perpetuation of life, ito yung kung saan magpaparami. So, more on reproduction tayo dito. So, topic outline, so plant reproduction, animal reproduction, and then the lastly is the information transfer. So, every reproduction happens, there is a kind of information transfer. Paano siya nata-transfer? Through genetic materials. For the objectives, number 1, describe the different ways that plants reproduce. So, we have different kinds of reproduction process. It's either asexual or sexual. Secondly, illustrate the relationship among the structure of flowers, fruits, and seeds. So, alam naman natin na si plants, nagkakaroon tayo ng reproduction system or reproduction process through flowers. So, si flowers, kapag na-fertile, definitely magkakaroon ng fruits, and then yung fruits, ang byproduct nun is the seeds, which is the another sets of offspring. Then, thirdly, describe the process of genetic engineering, and then, fourth, evaluate the benefits and risks of using GMOs. So, I hope familiar kayo kay GMOs. So, genetic modified organism. Pag sinabing genetic modified organism, it means ginamitan lang genetic engineering or ginalaw yung certain genes ng isang organism. It's either most commonly sa agriculture natin siya nakikita para mas maging mas benefit yung product. Kumbaga, if ever yung isang organism is once a year lang siya namumunga. So, yung mga scientists, gagalawin nila yon for if ever season. I mean, every month, pwede siyang magbunga. Or, for example, most commonly, yung halaman is, or yung bunga ng halaman is mabuto. So, gagalawin nila yung genetic materials ng organism na yon para maging seedless. So, lastly, sa balita, yung avocado, yung ginawa ng mga taga Zamboanga. So, ginamitan nila ng genetic engineering. So, yung avocado is naging seedless. Wala na siyang buto. So, first, let us know what is reproduction. So, reproduction is a process by which an organism produces its own kinds of to ensure that its breeds lives on. So, napaka-importante ni reproduction because kung wala tayong reproduction process, may extinct tayong lahat. So, mawawala tayo. So, if ever ang isang organism naubos, definitely we consider ourselves na extinct na. So, katulad ngayon, yung mga different kinds of animals natin na endangered na, yung mga agila. So, ang ginagawa para less sila sa endangered status, so, pinaparami sila, binibreed, tsaka pinapakawalan. But somehow, yun nga, pag pinakawalan is, tinatarget pa rin. So, we have two ways of reproduction. Una, si sexual reproduction, and yung kalawa is asexual reproduction. So, I hope you still remember what is the main difference between these two types of reproduction. When we say sexual reproduction, it needs to have sexual intercourse. So, kumbaga, dalawang gamito or gamits yung mag-intercourse para magkaroon ng offspring. Pag sinabi naman pong asexual reproduction, kahit isang organism na lang or kahit wala ng gametes ang gamitin, makakapag-reproduce pa rin siya. Okay, sexual reproduction in plants takes place when the gametes or the female and male sex cells united or collided. So once na nagkaroon ng intercourse at nag-unite yung both gametes like female and male sex cell po, magkakaroon tayo ng zygote. Most commonly, na-discuss ko din last time, we have different types of plants. So, we have angiosperm. So, ito yung kinoconsider natin as flowering plants. So, meron silang male tsaka female sex cell. Flowers may have either male or female parts. They serve as the main reproductive organs of the plants because they reproduce the gametes that are needed in sexual reproduction. Sir, paano po sila nagkakaroon ng sexual intercourse? Since ang plants naman po is hindi nagmo-move. Okay. In this part, kinakailangan natin ng pollinators. Ano po yung pollinators, sir? Ito yung mga bees, butterfly na kumukuha ng honey or sugar sa halaman or sa flowers, which is nadadala niya yung pollen. Now, kapag dumapo siya sa ibang part ng flowers, malalaglag yung pollen, and then kapag nalaglag yung pollen at pumasok dun sa mismong ovary ng plant, definitely mapefertile yung mismong flower na yon at magkakaroon ng fruits or seeds. So, that's how plants do a sexual reproduction system process. Okay, flowers also have sterile parts that do not directly take parts in the reproduction but greatly aid the reproduction process. These parts include the petals, receptacles, and then sepals. So, we have different parts of the flower. So, we have the anther, filaments, stigma, style, ovary, ovule, petal, stem, and then leaf. So, hopefully, familiar na kayo sa mga parts na to kasi ito yung parts kung saan itinuturo siya from grade school. So, petals are the flower's brightly colored parts that plays an important role. Ano po yung role na ginagampanan niya? To attract pollinators. It's either bees, bird, butterflies, and other animals. So, once na may pollinators, ibig sabihin, may pagkakapitan yung mga gametes or yung mga pollens, which is, kapag dumapo siya sa ibang part ng halaman or ibang parts ng flowers, definitely, mapefertile yung flower na yun at magkakaroon ng fruits. Sepals are the leaf-like parts that enclose and protect the flower bud before its bloom. So, ito yung nakikita natin sa ilalim ng flowers na kapag nag-bloom na. That is sepals. And then stamen, which is made up of anther and filaments. The filament is stalk that supports the anther where the pollens is reproduced. So, sa anther natin or sa stamen natin makikita yung mga pollens na kailangan for reproduction process. Pollen are tiny grains containing the sperm that is necessary for sexual reproduction. Is the carpel or pistil. So, yung pollen po yung kailangan natin. Then, kailangan natin ng pollinators. It's either bird, butterflies, or bees para mapunta sa ibang parts yun ng halaman. Then, stigma is the sticky parts that attach the pollen grain coming from the stamen. So, the style is the long tube-like parts that connects the stigma to ovary. So, yung style po, ito yung parang tubo na kapag pumasok yung pollen, definitely diretso na po yun sa ovary. Once na pumasok na yung pollen sa ovary, mapefertile po iyon. mag-undergo ng zygote hanggang sa mag-reproduce as fruits or magkaroon tayo ng seeds. Kasi yung seeds po, that is the offspring. Okay. Si pollen tube, tinatawag din siya madalas na styles kasi doon nga papasok si pollen tube. Again, this is the parts of the flowers. Pollination and fertilization, it needs to have pollinators. So, again po, si pollinators po, dada po siya sa flowers kasi na-attract po siya ng flowers, especially ni petals. Now, once na na-attract siya, dada po siya doon, kukuha siya kung ano man yung pwede niyang makuha. It's either the glucose of the flowers, then didikit po sa kanya yung mismong pollen. Now, si pollinators po, carry niya na po yung pollens and once na dumating siya or dumapo siya with the other parts of the flowers, so pwede niyang ilagay si stigma doon or mahulog yung mismo pollens inside with the stigma or style. So, meron din naman tayong tinatawag na self-pollination. So, reproducing flowering plants starts with pollination or that transfer of pollens from the anther to the stigma of the same plants. This type of transfer is called self-pollination. So, merong kinds of halaman na sila na mismong ang nagkakaroon ng self-pollination. So, example, yung dandelions. So, they do self-pollinations. So, yung cross-pollination, ito yung kinakailangan natin ng pollinators para magkaroon tayo ng cross-pollination. So, yung self-pollinations, sila na yung gumagawa sa sarili nila. But somehow, pag sinabing cross-pollination, kailangan natin ng pollinators. It's either bird, bees, or a butterfly. Fertilization is the process by which the sperm and egg cell unite, and then a few moments magmumultiply yung cell nun hanggang sa maging zygote. Then once na naging zygote na yun, definitely yun po ay magkakaroon ng embryo hanggang sa yun po ay mabuo as fruits and magkaroon ng seeds. Kasi po si seeds po is the byproduct of fertilization. Siya po yung offspring na kapag tinanim or napunta sa lupa, tutubo po siya. The other sperm nucleus fuse other polar nuclei in the ovule to produce the endosperm, which later cover the seeds and will provide nutrition to it. So, asexual reproduction, meron tayong asexual reproduction din sa plants. So, some plants do not bear flowers. Tinatawag natin siya as pedritophytes. Or kung di man pedritophytes, is tinatawag natin siya as seedless plants. So, they are able to produce offspring through asexual reproduction or reproduce that uses the cells of only one parent. It does not require the reproduction and union of the cell from two parents. So, pag sinabi pong sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction po, hindi na nare-required na magkaroon ng union of two cells coming from different parents. So, sa sexual reproduction lang po iyon nangyayari. So, unang-una is the vegetative propagation, wherein a new plants can grow from vegetative parts taken from the parent plants. For example nito, yung mga kamote, kangkong, diba pagtapos natin silang tanggalan ng dahon, putulin sa mga sanga ng parent parts na yun, pwede natin siyang itanim sa lupa kahit wala siyang ugat kasi tutubo pa rin siya. So, that is vegetative propagation. Example po ng asexual reproduction. Kalawa yung tubers. These tubers are modified stem that grow deep under the ground and contain the nutrients that the plants need for growth. These tubers have small nodes called eyes from which leaves sprout and grow into plants. Potatoes and kamotes are example din ng tubers. Ang ang luya po kasi is rhizome po. Ugat din po kasi yun si rhizome. So other kinds of modified stem that can be used for vegetative propagation are bulbs, rhizome, and runners. Isa-isahin po natin sila. Now, si bulbs, most commonly, nakikita natin to sa tulip tsaka sa onion. So, it's a plant structure called apical bulbs. Surrounding it are the lateral bulbs. As the bulb grows, apical bulbs start to grow leaves. So, the more na nag-grow yung mismong bulb yung bud nung mismong halaman, the more na nag-grow din yung apical parts niya. So, that's an example of asexual reproduction. Next one is the rhizome. Ito yung sa luya, which is yung sa ginger, which is po, ito naman is horizontally under the ground. As it's grow, it's develop new stem from its nodes. These stems grow in a vertical direction and produce new plants. Sir, ano po ba yung nodes? Kanina nyo pa po nababanggit yung nodes. Pag sinabi pong nodes, pag tinignan nyo po yung luya, parang makinis na part siya doon na parang mata. That is the nodes, which is pwedeng tumubo doon yung mismong sanga or stem ng halaman. Kalawa is yung runner or stolon. So, si runners po, best example natin is yung sa strawberry. Kasi po, the more na nagwa-widen yung parts ng strawberry, the more na nagkakaroon din siya ng ugat. So, si strawberry po is an example of stolon or runners. Reproduction in animals naman po tayo in other organism. Ganun din po, we have two types of reproduction with animals. Kung meron tayo sa plants, meron din tayong sexual and asexual reproduction sa animals. So, animals also reproduce through sexual reproduction or asexual reproduction. Again, pag sinabi pong sexual reproduction, it needs to have union of two gametes or two cells na it needs to be united and later on magiging fertile siya. So again po, pag sinabing asexual reproduction, pag sabi pong sexual reproduction, kailangan natin dito ng sexual intercourse wherein yung egg cell tsaka sperm cell is mag-unite, magkakaroon ng union. So, sexual reproduction in animals, male and female animals have different reproductive parts. With those of males, animals producing sperm cells, and for those naman sa babae or females, they produce egg cells. So, in sexual reproduction, it needs to be united or to be union or collided para magkaroon ng zygote. Then yung zygote, that will be the offspring. So, we have two types of sexual reproduction. Zingami and conjugation. Yung zingami, ito yung normal na nangyayari sa atin. Yung nagkakaroon ng sexual intercourse, which is yung babae tsaka yung lalaki. Or yung male gametes and female gametes nag-unite. Sir, ano naman po ang conjugation? Nag-unite sila but temporarily. Then, after that, magse-separate or magkakaroon ng binary fission. So, most commonly, yung mga gantong animals is most commonly makikita siya sa protist bacteria conjugation. Involves two organisms of the same species with similar appearance but different biochemical composition. Kumbaga kasi 'di ba sa zingami yung sperm cell at egg cell nag-unite, nagstay si sperm cell sa loob ni egg cell. Dito po sa conjugation, temporary lang po. Once na nagkaroon na ng fertile, lumalabas po or umaalis. So what is the primary sex organs? Pag lalaki usapan, mayroon tayong testes. Pero pag babae, we have gonad tsaka ovary. Secondary sex characteristic, we have testosterone tsaka estrogen sa babae po. Organisms such as flatworm and earthworm that have both male and female reproductive organs are called monoecious or hermaphrodites. So kapag ang organism ay contain both gametes po or both sex cell po, ang tawag natin doon it's monoecious or hermaphrodites. Some organisms have separate sexes, it's either male or female. They are known as dicotyledonous. Organism includes vertebrates such as nematodes and arthropods and almost all vertebrates. Then proceed naman po tayo sa asexual reproduction with plants. So, pag sinabing asexual reproduction, it needs only one parent to produce new offspring. So, in asexual reproduction, only one parent is needed to reproduce a new individuals or offspring. Ika nga. Single parents produce offspring that is genetically identical to its genes na meron siya. So, without the process of meiosis or fertilization. Una dyan is yung binary fission. Si binary fission, nangyayari yan sa mga bacteria. This is the simplest process of asexual reproduction wherein the body of the organism divides into two new bodies. So, binary fission, most commonly bacteria. Kalawa is yung budding. Si budding pwedeng sa halaman, pwedeng with other animals. So, outgrowths of buds develop from the parent organism. The buds may break off and develop into new organism or remain attached to the parent's organism. These types of reproduction happen in animals without reproductive organs or those with both male and female reproductive organs. Ang coral po, kino-consider natin siya as animals. So, now, si corals, nagre-reproduce sila through budding. So, kapag iniwan mo yung other parts ng coral, tapos nilagay mo siya with some places, there are possibilities na pwede pa siyang tumubo, magkaroon ng offspring. So, example na to is the reproduction in hydra and budding. So, magkakaroon ng meron tayong parent hydra, magde-develop ng bud, and then sa ikatlo, yung new bud is ready na siya. It's either pwede siyang ma-attach or pwede rin siyang humiwalay. So, kapag humiwalay, that is the new hydra or the offspring na yun. Fragmentations, we know naman na si starfish, kahit hiwa-hiwain mo, mag-generate pa rin yan ng other parts. So, yan po ay part pa rin ng asexual reproduction. An organism body is divided into two more parts wherein each fragments develop into an organism characteristic similar to the parent po. So, for example, si starfish po, since lima yung galamay niya, pag hinati ko siya ng lima, definitely it can form similar, identical pa rin as the parent. So, ganito po. Now, we have the parent parts and then pinutulan siya ng isa. Then, sa last stages, yung isang part na yun sa parent part, there are possibilities na tumubo pa rin siya. While dun sa parts na naputol, pwede pa rin siyang mag-reproduce ng other parts niya, which is yun po yung magiging offspring. Fragmentation ang tawag natin doon. Next one is the regeneration. Pag sinabi nating regeneration, ito yung kung saan parang medyo may kahawig siya kay fragmentation, but somehow dito kasi sa regeneration, yung parent part lang yung tumutubo. So for example po sa butike, pag pinutulan natin sila ng buntot, yung buntot nila tutubo ulit. That's what we call regeneration. Pero yung buntot na naputol, hindi na po magkakaroon ng body yon. So yun po yung difference silang dalawa ni fragmentation tsaka ni regenerations. So example, etong salamanders. So kunyari pinutulan natin yung salamanders ng isang kamay, magre-regenerate ulit yung parts na yun kung saan naputulan hanggang sa mabuo yung panibagong kamay niya or limb. So, yun lang po muna. And then, thank you. We'll also discussing new parts. Personal na po.